What happens when a busy real estate agent finally takes a buyer's view of her own house? Well, for her, she was convinced it was time to renovate her master bathroom. Join her today on her home improvement journey and learn what to expect and how to organize the project. It's all coming up next on For Your Home. Gail has been listing and selling properties for over 16 years. She loves discovering new neighborhoods and houses and sharing the possibilities with her clients. Buyers want great kitchens, bathrooms, and closets. Gail and Steve's house, well, it's in a beautiful neighborhood, nice big yard, it's well decorated, but when you get to their master bath, it's not so great. They installed a big oversized garden tub a few years ago, and then they never used it. Sound familiar? This DIY project reduced the size of Gail's walk-in closet and left them with a shower so small it's almost impossible to use. Trust me, there are plenty more issues here as well.
I know what buyers want, and they would not want my bathroom. From a design standpoint, it's terrible. You walk in and you can't open the door all the way because there's a closet in back of the door that doesn't allow it to open all the way. I have taken up about a foot of my closet space when we added a huge garden tub that we've used probably 10 times in 15 years. There's not enough storage, and my husband and I are always fighting about who gets what drawer and where his stuff goes and where my stuff goes, and he wants a medicine chest still in the wall, which I don't like. So from a design standpoint, it's bad. We're hoping Vicki can help us.
That master bath needed a renovation in a big way. We used the shower that was 3 foot by 3 foot for way too many years. We had a garden tub that we never used, a vanity that was too low, over 6 feet, and needed to bring it up a little bit more. We looked at a contemporary appeal in the master bath, and we wanted to bring that through the entire house.
I think this bathroom already looks better. I can't even visualize how great it's going to turn out. It's one of my favorite stages in a project. Well, I met with Gail and Steve and I laid out the game plan. I shared with them some material considerations and made some recommendations of some tradespeople they might want to consider. Gail and Steve decided to be their own general contractors on this project. That's going to save them about 15 to 20% on the project, but it's also going to add to their workload.
I always try to tell my buyers and sellers the value in using a realtor. I am the expert. And the same goes with the construction industry. I am not an expert in construction, but yet I chose to be my own general contractor for the bath renovation. I went online and did some research, and every county has their own website, code enforcement, that tells the homeowner what is needed to do to obtain a permit and when you need to obtain a permit. I went through the permitting process. You can pay online, you can apply online. I printed my little sheet with the permit number, I stuck it in my window, and that was the easy part. Then I had to schedule all the contractors that were coming to the house. I had to make sure that after a contractor was here that they called in the inspection. And if the inspector didn't come on such and such a day, then that delayed the next step in the process. We're in the middle of it right now, and it's going pretty well. I'll let you know at the end if I see value in taking this much time off from work to be the general contractor.
With all the drawings completed, the permits pulled, the budget in place, and all the tradespeople hired, then it was time to start all the fun. They hired some demolition guys and they got in here and started tearing everything out. It's one of my favorite parts of the job. They got rid of that big giant garden tub that was over in the corner. And in the other corner, they tore out that old linen closet and finally got rid of that little bitty tiny shower. So now you can really see the space and what it's going to offer them. It was also time for the other tradesmen to get in here. You know, there's a lot of people that are involved in a bath renovation like this, and a lot of times homeowners are really shocked by the cost of it or how entailed it is. Think of it this way. It's like you're building a little house in this room because you use all the kinds of trades that you use in house construction. You have to have a plumber, electrician, a framer, drywall, painters, tile layers. You have to have framers. It just goes on and on. So it gets expensive because you're involving all those trades in one little area. Now, Gail and Steve, well, they've got all their good framework ready to go, and now we can let some of the electricians and plumbers get in here and really make some advances. Once Gail had picked out all the fixtures, it was time for her to get serious about the vanity. She met with Jim Mock, he's with Marsh Kitchens, and he's going to be building the vanity that's going to go right in this space.
Well, Gail, after meeting the first time, I emailed you some new designs, and also I brought the copy right here too, and I just wanted to go over it with you and see what you thought.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Well, I'm looking at the first design, and I didn't like that because it wasn't symmetrical enough for me. I like, if there's going to be 2 drawers on one side, I like 2 drawers on the other side. So I like the new design where it looks like 4 drawers, but I still have my laundry basket.
And you know, even though it's not actually 4 drawers, it's actually 2 drawers on the right-hand side, and then a hamper behind the 2 drawer fronts on the left-hand side. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Perfect.
And also on the colors, we kind of talked about a little bit about our espresso color and our graphite gray color, which are both popular right now, and this being the espresso right here, and then also the greystone color, which is very trending right now. And then, but we kind of decided to come back and do the white.
I want that spa look, and I just feel like the white's going to give me the look that I want.
And this is the actual door style right here, so.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I
Good.
love it.
Good. Also on the design, we did a bump out in the center right there where we pulled that whole hamper section towards the front, a little bit past where the sink base cabinets will be. And that kind of breaks up the long run of the cabinetry right there and adds a little bit of detail, a little personality to that right there too.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Good, good. Time frame wise, you know, we're looking at about 3 weeks to build them and have them ready for installation.
Perfect.
And then also, it's going to be a 2-step installation. You know, we're going to do the base cabinetry, and then they're going to have the template for the countertop, and then we'll come back afterwards and set the tile down to the countertop.
Okay. And it will look beautiful. I can't wait to get all my things back in the bathroom and organized again.
I hear you. Thank you. I think it'll look great too.
Thanks, Jim.
Now you might be asking yourself, where does Vicki fit into this whole bathroom? Well, right now, of course, because we're to the pretty things. You know, I worked with Gail and helped her select all the material for the bathroom. I want to show you what we came up with because I think it's going to be spectacular. When you're getting ready to do a bathroom, the first thing that you want to start with are the fixtures. Now, take a look over here. This is all this nice shiny chrome, and that's what's really in right now. This is our shower head that we're going to have. I love the square shape to it. It's kind of like one of those rain heads. So that really set the tone. We went into the same kind of design style, nice and square. These are the faucets and the handles that we're going to be working with on the vanities. I love that whole look. That set the tone. Okay, now it was time for the tile. The tile is the next thing you want to choose because it covers the biggest area. So we love the look of Carrara marble, but you know that it's really hard to take care of and it's very expensive. So we went with, look how beautiful this is, a look-alike ceramic tile. This has that same gray and taupey tones to it. It's just absolutely beautiful. We're going to use large tiles. These are 12 by 24 and we'll lay them in a brick pattern. For the floor of the bathroom, we went with exactly the same tile except it has a matte finish on it. You would never put a slick tile like this on the floor or you'd be on your, you know what, half the time. But the colors are the same. This will function really well. For the countertops, we went with a really beautiful quartz material. It's recycled glass. It's eco-friendly. I absolutely love it. And it has little flecks of gray and little sparkles in it. Ties in with that whole spa look that Gail was after. But I thought that we needed something else to kind of jazz it up a little bit, make it a little more fun. So I selected this grouping of glass tiles. Now at first I looked at the little tiny individual squares. I thought we had too much squares going. So I went into the long rectangular shapes. They'll stagger this and we'll do a band around the wall of the shower. That's really going to dress it up and it's going to give us some great colors that we can use for accessories throughout the room. Now, this is the cabinet door style that Gail went with, and this is the hardware I selected. It's nice and chrome. It again has a square shape to it, but it's a little softer. Has a little bit of a round shape, an arch to it. That's going to be perfect on our doors, and we got a little smaller size for the pulls on the drawers. I think that Gail's going to love all of these pieces, and I can't wait to see them all come together. It's been a busy 3 weeks since we started the bathroom renovation here at Gail and Steve's house. During these 3 weeks, we have accomplished a lot. First of all, we started by tearing out all the old bathroom fixtures and the old tile. Then we got in and did our rough plumbing, framed out the new areas, grabbed some of that space that Gail wanted back for her closet. In the process, got drywall hung, the plumbing done, tile installed. It just goes on and on. Let's go in and take a look and see how it all came out. Well, what do you think? Quite the transformation, don't you think? Remember what we started with just 3 weeks ago? This bathroom was so out of date. We got rid of everything right back down to the studs. Do you remember the linen closet that we had in the corner, which stopped us from even being able to open the bathroom door? Now that's no longer an issue. We also got rid of that tiny little shower and that big old garden tub that nobody even liked. What we replaced it with was this beautiful big shower with all this glass. I think this turned out fantastic. Now, when you're starting to make a lot of choices in the bathroom, and believe me, there are a ton of choices, even as a professional designer, you can make a mistake. I did picking the tile out for this bathroom. You know, I love the tile that we chose for the walls, and we chose the same thing for the floor, except the floor has a frosted finish on it so it's not slippery. So those two go together great. Because there's gray in the tile, I thought a gray glass tile would look perfect in here. Looked good on the sample boards, but once our tile guys started installing it, Gail and I both said, just doesn't work for us. So we had him take it out, and instead we replaced it with this beautiful tile. It's complementary because it has exactly the same look of the tile that's on the wall, plus it has the glass strips in it. See, you can fix those mistakes, just take the time to do it. Over here on this side, what a transformation. We had that old black vanity with the mirrors and the lighting. We did a whole transformation here. We started first of all with this knee wall, and this is just to kind of hide the toilet. We didn't have enough room for a separate water closet, but this is really a great asset to do. Now, the countertops that we put in here, you know how I love it when we can use recycled products. Well, these are eco-friendly countertops. They have been manufactured using post-consumer and manufacturing products, and they are very resistant to stain. They won't scratch, and I couldn't be happier with them because, you know, in a bathroom, you have a lot of chemicals and shampoos and different things. You want to make sure you get a durable material. Plus, isn't it beautiful? Looks just like a spa. I love that. Now, in addition to our vanity, we selected sinks that would have a great contemporary look because our goal was to keep everything linear in here. The nice square sink, it's under the counter, which is, I love that because you can keep it clean. All the water or the gunk can just wipe right off. Has a nice clean look, and it stays that way. For our faucets, now this faucet I think is one of the most beautiful contemporary ones that I have seen. It has these great little straight lines and the curved spigot so you can really get underneath it to wash your hands with a deep sink. But I want to call your attention to the water flow. Most of your faucets have an aerator in them, but this one doesn't. This is designed with what's called luminar function. The water comes out and it looks like a ribbon. See? Isn't that pretty? Again, a really nice touch. Over the faucets, we had to have a little bling in here, and this isn't a little bling, it is a lot of bling. So I love these mirrors. They really set this off. Above it, new lighting with a chrome finish on it that ties in with all of our fixtures. The cabinetry, Jim did a fabulous job in designing these cabinets for Gail. It was exactly what she was after. We even have a clothes hamper right inside that can be removed and carried right down to the laundry room. The hardware that we selected for this area is very linear again. It ties right in with our faucets. The tower, remember we got rid of that old linen closet and behind the door? This is our new storage area. So now we've got room for towels above and below, dirty clothes, lots of drawer space. Absolutely perfect. Now we're working with a collection here. Our shower fixtures, if you take a look at those, are beautiful, nice, great straight lines. Have a lot of features to those. They tie in with our faucets, and they also tie in with our other bathroom accessories. Our towel bar, our robe hooks, even the tissue holder by the toilet, and the toilet brush cleaner. They're all from the same collection. What's so great about that is it all matches. It takes the guesswork out for you. So always consider that when you're looking for fixtures. And when you find a faucet that you love, make sure that you also love those accessories, because you won't be disappointed. I know I could always count on Chris from All About the Pipes to get me started in the right direction on a job and to show up when it's all done to be sure we're still on track. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Great, Vicki. How are you?
Good, good.
Great to see you. I dropped off all the paperwork on all the fixtures for the project.
Oh, great. That's good to have, for the homeowners. And I think it turned out fantastic. What do you think?
It looks amazing. Amazing. Nice and bright and clean. It just looks really, really nice.
What a transformation, huh, from what we started with?
Unbelievable.
Okay, I got a question about the toilet here, okay?
Okay.
There's no handle on this, Chris. Is this like a one flush and that's it, or what?
Well, actually, this is Gerber's new model with the dual flush, where you actually have two buttons to press on the toilet. One for liquids and one for solids. So it uses 1.1 on the liquid and it uses 1.6 on the solid. So it's a very, very efficient toilet.
So really going to save water that way.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And a lot of times people, when they get the toilets that have just that 1.1 gallon, they're not happy with it for all the process.
For performance purposes.
Yeah.
But this makes going to the bathroom fun.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. It turned out great. The shower, there's a lot going on in that shower in there.
There is. It's not too much, but I think it came out perfect. You basically have the cantilever style rain head, which gives you the effect and feel of a rain head without the additional cost. Because a lot of times if you go with the rain head, there's a lot of additional piping involved.
You gotta go into the ceiling of it, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot more piping involved. Where this, you could have adjustable length for the different height.
Yeah, because that looks like it's really tall, but Steve's tall.
Correct. And you can get a different offset for different heights. But it basically gives you the same sensation and feel of the rain head, but it comes out of the wall. And it has its own diverter, so you have your temp control on the bottom, and then you could divert it to the rain head. And then you also have the handheld on the adjustable bar. So you could have it low, you could have it high. If a child's in here, he could use it or she could use it.
Or you gotta wash your dog in here.
Or you wash your dog.
This
is a beautiful shower for
that.
that.
A lot of times people with a shower this large, they want two shower heads, but a handheld is really much more practical, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're starting to see that. A lot more people, instead of going with the traditional two shower heads on a larger shower, they're going with the handheld because it's for many uses, for washing, for rinsing down the shower.
Cleaning it out, stuff is works a lot better.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it turned out great. I can't wait for Steve and Gail to see it. Thanks for all your help you did for it. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I thought I could do a lot of this work myself. In fact, I was very interested in doing a lot of the work myself. The tile work, the woodwork, obviously some of the painting and those kinds of things. But once I realized what kind of time commitment I was looking at, I realized that maybe I couldn't do as much of this as I wanted. And once we got into it, I realized there was no way I could have done as much of this as I wanted. It was far more time consuming. There was far more expertise involved than I certainly have. Watching these guys, the plumbers, the tile guys, I realized that I was way out of my league and there was no way I could have done this. As it turned out, in the end, I think I might have only done some painting and some molding work or something like that, but real happy with the final product, real happy with the way things came out, and I'm very glad that I wasn't involved.
Now, Steve might have gotten out of doing all the DIY work, but I certainly didn't. One of the big trends today in bathrooms is what they call a drying bench. Now, usually in larger bathrooms, they might be built out of teak or, built out of tile. In our case, because of the way our door folds back, we didn't have that much space. I went shopping and I found this great little bench right here. This is what we're going to use as our drying bench. The only problem is this does not match the new bathroom decor. So that's an easy fix. Just undo the top that comes with your bench, usually just a couple of screws that are holding it in place. You could do this too if you had an old piano bench, maybe put a nice coat of paint on it and then use that to reupholster. Then you want to buy some fabric. Now, this is when it can be a lot of fun. Our bathroom is really all kind of white with a little bit of tones of aqua or gray. So when you go shopping for material, be sure you take a paint chip with you so you get the right tone. If you look at all the pieces that I have out here, you see how much variation there is between the grays and the taupey browns and the aquas and more gray. So you can really make a mistake if you're not prepared with all of your tile and your paint samples. Now, also to pay attention to the pattern that you're selecting. This is a really great looking piece of fabric, but it has a large design. A large design on a small seat, you're really not going to get the advantage of it. So you're better off to go with something that has a little smaller pattern like either one of these. For our color purposes today, I like the gray and white the best. So that's the one we're going to use. All right, so I'm going to put these over here out of my way. Now, the first thing you want to do is get out your iron. Because a lot of times, have you ever seen anybody who made the big mistake of using their fabric without pressing out the wrinkles first? Well, if you do that, you're going to be stuck with those wrinkles forever because you can't get them out after the fact. So press your fabric, get it nice and flat. Another tip is cover up your work area with an old towel so you don't get any dirt on your new fabric, because that could be very disappointing. Your tools are pretty simple. You're going to need a pair of scissors to trim your fabric about, you want it to be, I would say a good inch longer when it folds over the side. So add about 3 inches all the way around and trim your fabric to the right size. Then you're going to need a hammer and a pair of pliers and a staple gun with staples. Now, why do I need the hammer and why do I need the pliers? Well, unfortunately, this little seat is made out of a compressed lumber material, so it's very, very dense. Staples are not going to go into this all the way like we'd like for them to do and be nice and flat like the commercial staples are. These are going to pop up high. That's why I'm going to need the hammer. All right, so start by positioning your fabric just like you got it. Pull over your side, and then try to keep this as level as you can and come back about that far from the edge, and then just pull the trigger. See how that pops up right there? And believe me, I practiced a lot of these before you joined me, and they all did that. So now, hammer it down flat. Move over to the next section. Do the same thing again and go all the way around it, just continuing to pull up one side and staple it in place. Tricky area, that's the corners. Don't try folding it here first. Come to the middle over in this section. Oh, look, we got lucky. It went in further than the other ones did. Probably because I'm going in the right grain with this wood on these. Okay, now for the corners. You want to pull this nice and tight. See how I'm just kind of folding it? If you've ever done any gift wrapping, that's kind of what we're after here. We want to get all the wrinkles. We don't want any of those in it. Okay, see how we've got that nice and tight? Now keep in mind your pattern. You don't want to pull your fabric so tight that your pattern all of a sudden starts working kind of lopsided on you. Especially true if you decide to work with stripes. Those are really difficult to do because if you get them going a little bit off, it's going to show. All right, all you need to do is just continue all the way around here, putting in your poster or your tacks, folding up the corners. If you make a mistake with one of your tacks, little needle-nose pliers, grab a hold of it and pry it right out. It's no problem at all. Once you've got it all tacked down, you'll have a great new seat. Put it back on your bench and you're in business with a custom drying bench for your bathroom. All my decorative touches, it's time to see if Bill and Steve are happy with their new bathroom.
Whoa.
Excellent.
Wow. Look at this. I thought the mirrors would be too blingy, but they look great. Is that shower head the right height for you?
That'll work. That'll work.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Steve, look at how the paint picks up this color. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent.
Woo! This is the most organized we'll be. Awesome. Look at the bench. Look at the bench. How cool. Wow.
All right.
I love
this
it.
works.
I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, good job.
This is the 30th season of For Your Home. Can you believe that? We have filmed 377 shows. And after all of those shows, I'm still thrilled when I see how our projects turn out. This bathroom, what a great way to mark our new season. Join me next time right here on For Your Home. You know I'll have some great ideas that you can try at your house. Do you want to know more about the projects today or our guests? Visit us on the web. You're going to find great behind-the-scenes shots, streaming video, project ideas. We even have an e-newsletter with tips and ideas. It's foryourhome.com.